Countdown has begun. PBT.
Hype.
Alright, at the top left position as the red Terran, we will have cryoc. And at the bottom left as the teal Birdos, we will have fuNny.
Well, I gotta say that in the past, I thought that cryoc was really like a, very passive Terran, but he has been doing a few more interesting, like, attacks early on. So, in the past, I would really think that going against cryoc, you would really want to get really early economy, try to get ahead in that department. But nowadays, I'm not so sure.
I wonder if that's because he's been playing in a lot of casted events, and obviously, the other players can watch him as well and be like, oh, he's a passive Terran, so maybe he's adjusted his playstyle a little bit. Because I thought the same thing as you, actually. But you're right, he has been mixing it up a little bit, so I think that's good. I think it's definitely good, so people can't just, double expand against you in PvT all the time.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why. Maybe Protoss kept going for a fast third, and he kept losing to that, and he just got mad and started cheesing him.
Yeah, I mean, the real problem that I see with playing a very a similar style, pretty much like, for example, Flash used to do, right? He was really standard. Once I think Flash in the early stages of his career was like completely cheesing everybody, and then he switched to being really solid going for the late game. Yeah. The curious thing about Flash was that he understood pretty much perfectly like where to scan, how to do it, everything, and it's really hard to do that. So if you're playing as, for example, cryoc, you probably just want to mix it up so that people can really find weaknesses in your build.
Yep, that's absolutely right. I wonder if, I mean, it's interesting how, like you said, Flash went from cheeser to, super airtight builds and stuff. I wonder if that's part of him, starting off as a cheeser. It's kind of like how, you see 2v2 players, like really good 2v2 players, even when they play 1v1, if they're not that comfortable with builds and whatnot, they have like super good micro. Yeah. And they carry over a lot of like different skills from playing 2v2. So
I think that the main reason, as far as I remember, the main reason why I really thought that Flash got to a point where he was really solid was because he went to something like, basically if you're constantly cheesing at the beginning of your career, you're constantly multitasking extremely aggressively. So when you get to that point where your multitasking is really good and you're really good with constantly microing and producing units, then going for a different style that is more passive is probably going to get you even better once you understand that style.
Yeah, definitely makes sense. Basically, Flash's God.
Yeah.
However he got there.
Yeah, sold his soul or something. We'll never know.
And he's also married to Jennifer Lopez, so I guess he wins at life. There you go.
I have to say though that with the internet memes that were around for Flash, it was like a lot. Like I don't know if it got to like 1,000 pages or something. I know people just inventing new memes for how godly Flash was.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the Flash thread. Oh my God, I remember now.
Yeah.
With the stupid face. Oh my God. It was ridiculous. I don't remember what it's called anymore, but. Yeah. What is with this Jennifer Lopez thing though? Is this just a thing from today? Is this an actual meme that I don't know about? Am I just like old and uncool? I'm not hip enough to know these memes. What's going on here?
Dude, I have to tell you though that if you're thinking about this and they're saying, okay, so Flash is married to Jennifer Lopez, that kind of shows you that we're a little bit outdated on who's like famous now. Because, I mean, to be fair, you'd say probably something like Taylor Swift or somebody like that is kind of more from today. But Jennifer Lopez, when was the last time you heard a song from her?
I don't know, man.
Kind of long ago. Okay, never mind that. Okay, so Dragoon range and pretty early Nexus. Alright. One gate, right?
Pretty standard. 1 gate range Nexus, and we're just seeing an FD from cryoc.
Yeah.
Good times.
So basically, unless somebody really messes up, this is probably going to go to a bit of a longer game.
Yeah. Interestingly, for some reason the goons are at the 6 o'clock. I have no idea why they're there. They should have been poking down these these Marines
Yeah.
as they came out, but now he's basically lost a lot of space and a lot of time. He's gonna kill his SCV in his base at least, but like he this is not how you're supposed to play against this. I mean, he's gonna be fine because he's got the 3 Dragoons, but he should have been shooting them from the time they moved out.
Yeah, and especially because now the Vulture does get the position to mine whatever it wants, which, if it's possible, you would rather want to have it mine first at the natural of the Terran, just to make sure that they're... It's a small threat, because you're not really going to move out, but it's always better to have that feeling that, okay, the map is probably not that mined yet.
Yeah, that's exactly the reason
Oh,
why you should be...
Island at the 12 o'clock.
Oh man, I was so hoping that was going to be a Nexus, and that would be the most baller Nexus ever, but oh well. We've seen that once though in a game. We've had that done where the Protoss actually took the Terrans third as a. Or no. I think it was like.
The NMAX did a hidden expansion, but that was against Radley, I think.
I think it wasn't the third. It might have been like the Terran and Protoss spawns cross map, and he took the Terran's 4th base or something. You know, like the close side base that's supposed to be the 4th. And it just went unscouted for like 45 minutes or something, and it was hilarious. But anyway, I have no idea what game that was.
Now, okay, so the interesting thing is that now 3 gateways is something quite... I always found this really weird. I mean, I know what the idea is, right? You do get more units, you can kind of try to poke, you can maybe deny a third for a little bit. But the thing is, I never understood, when you go for this kind of build, if you're not able to actually do any damage, you're sacrificing like some of the economy for trying to take a third relatively early when you know that this is... Well, there's no observer yet, right? So...
The first one just came out.
Okay, so probably he still didn't know exactly what it was he was playing against. But if you do see this kind of FT, then the pull back, you know, it's one factory, right? So there's not that much threat yet.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I think it's still... Basically, it's like a safe follow-up. From the one gate, one gate expand, obs, 2 more gateways. It's quite funny. I used to hate doing that. I used to like be OCD about always having an even number of gateways. So I'd always either have 2 or 4. Even if it was inefficient at 4, I would just make 4 anyway. Because like, I hate odd numbers of gateways. And then eventually I just accepted that 3 gateways is a little bit better than that, because you can actually pump from all 3.
Yeah.
But you're right. I mean, you know, he's playing a safe build. It's kind of the opposite of what we saw earlier with Remag going through double expand.
Yeah, and I have to say that I've been playing lately a little bit more to be, you know, trying to get also on the TLC and TLS. Wow, I always messed that up.
TLC, whatever, it's all good.
Messed that up. Anyway, and I've actually been trying to do this exactly the same thing instead of going for the Nexus, and it kind of works better because you do have more units. So Vulture harassments are less like they're not going to do that much.
Yep. I mean, it just makes you feel a little bit safer. It gives you a little bit more map control, so you're not sort of sitting waiting for the turn to do anything. In the meantime, we do see this 3rd base at the 6 o'clock, obviously, not the 9, because he wants to expand away from the Terran. Although gonna send a probe over to the 9 as well for some reason. I don't know if that's like a sneaky fake or something, just pretends he wanted to expand there, but I don't know if the Terran if cryoc would even have seen that. cryoc in the meantime has taken his 3rd with just the 2 factories, so he is going for that, you know, very passive 3 base turtle here. Yeah,
but unfortunately there is a pylon there, so it's gonna take him a little bit longer to just get rid of it.
I can't believe this is actually useful.
What? Wait a second. There's actually like 40 SCVs to 47 probes. Oh, okay. That's because fuNny hasn't been making probes in this 3rd Nexus for a while. I was just wondering that the probe count and the SCV count was quite similar, and I was surprised about that because usually, I mean, I thought that the turn would have, especially in this kind of build where you're playing, you know, for the later stage of the game, you're trying to get your 3rd relatively early, that you usually have a slightly higher SCV count at this point. The natural basically really looks on a crappy saturation right now.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. I mean, to be fair, the 3rd Nexus didn't finish that long ago.
Yeah.
But, you know, hopefully he stays on top of that pro production now, although not to the extent that... who was it last week that built like 100 probes and just couldn't make any units?
Was it Arcneon?
It might have been Arcneon. He's in the chat right now. Arcneon, was it you? It was you, wasn't it? Oh my god, it was you. Arcneon, bro. Yeah, you gotta, you know, you took the never stop making probes way too literally. You gotta stop when you're at 100, man. Come on.
But you did say that on average on his games it didn't make sense, right?
Well, no. over the course of 3 games, he had the correct number of probes. Because in the second game, he only had like 10 probes.
12, I think it was.
Yeah. So it was good. It was good.
All right, and a fourth being taken by fuNny right now, and this is one of the things that I really like. It's really passive, but the curious thing about this is that I always thought that the Protoss gets more ahead in this kind of situation, because the main problem is if you do get to Arbiter Tech, even if you just have the cloak, not even the stasis, because look, this is only now coming down the factories from cryoc. This is like, I mean, it's 10 minutes, so it's not like it's, you know, it's not like it's really late, but because you're not doing any kind of harassment, you're not putting any pressure on the Protoss. You can see that the Protoss is on 300 minerals, like.
Yeah, this is perfect response here from fuNny. Is he even gonna make another Nexus? Oh my god, that would be so boss. And it's fine because he knows. Yeah. Oh, Terran went for just the 2 factories and you know, take a 3rd base. All right, I have, you know, 5 minutes of free macro. It's basically like it's a no rush 15 game, right? Possibly even longer. So I'm just gonna do whatever I want.
Yeah, but there's one problem that I think fuNny is maybe it's not a mistake just yet, but he's not adding right away gateways on his last base on the bottom right, and I think that can be a problem because he's on how much 6 gateways against 6 factories, and if you do get that much of time, you do want to get the infrastructure first and then the units because it's clear that cryoc is not moving out.
Yeah, well, I think that's why going for this 5th is a little bit greedy. It delays your gateway explosion by a little bit, and that obviously in turn delays your unit explosion, and we can already see 9 factories now soon to be finished for the Terran player, and no additional gateways started yet for the Protoss. He's made another round of units. See, this is where you become in limbo, because now he's in a situation where he has to choose, do I make another round of units now just in case he attacks me somehow? Or do I add on my gateways? Usually you should add on all your gateways, but there could have, you know, maybe been some weird, like, huge unsiege and attack from a Terran player.
I don't think that's even a problem because the Observer has been watching the factories all the time, so he knows exactly when the production started, when it was starting to get bigger, so he had all the information.
That's true as well. Yeah.
That's one of the things that Flash used to do a lot, which is he would actually make like 3, maybe 4 Goliaths, and the first thing he would do, just find the Observer, kill it.
Yeah. That's an excellent point, yeah, to deny that very important vision. But this Observer has just been sitting here for God knows how long. And there's another Observer at the front as well, so as soon as the army moves out, he's going to know about it. But now the 5th base is done. There's not that much mining to get. Obviously, it's very difficult to immediately get probe saturation in all the bases. You can see it's a little bit sparse already, but obviously producing probes off the 5 Nexus, you can get up there quickly. And now he's adding more gateways. He's going up to 8, 9, 10 gateways.
Yeah, and he's adding a pylon at this last base, so probably he's gonna add more gateways there. Okay, so a small move out, but not really yet, just slightly poking out with the tanks to make sure that there's more control over that area. The thing is that with this, especially because Arbiter Tech, like, it should be done right now, but there's one Arbiter already, and yeah, recall is being researched. There's still a long time to go until the energy is there, but I mean, the Protoss has pretty much all the tools he needs, except the gateway explosion at the bottom right.
Did he get stasis already, or did he actually go recall before stasis?
I think he did get it, because it's been quite a long time since the Arbiter Tribunal finished.
Okay, that'd be good. I was gonna say, I don't actually see it starting. That's obviously quite a crucial research for the actual fights, where, you know, you need stasis instead of recall, but well, here we go. I think 2-1 is almost finished. Okay, 2-0, and the armor should be finished. Yeah, in just a second here. So this could be the timing here for cryoc. 170 supply, 2-1. Pretty classic.
Yeah.
Is he going to unsiege now, move out? He's not unsieging just yet. He really should unsiege now, because by the time he actually gets out to the middle of the map, you know, he'll fill up the rest of the supply with vultures anyway, so no point hanging around. Yeah, basically starting to spam vultures in all these gateways. And here we go. This game could be decided in large part by how this attack goes. As you mentioned before, the gateways at the bottom right, only just now starting, only 2 gateways finished, so he doesn't have the huge gateway count that can instantly remax his army. He does have quite a lot of gateways in his main, at least. It's like 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. He's got 15 gateways. Okay, I take it back. He's got 15 gateways in the main. He's actually been really efficient with the main and made a lot of gateways here, so he's actually going to be okay in the production.
That's an incredible positioning on the gateways because I think nothing over there is blocked.
Yeah, this
Wow.
is really, really nice base layout, actually. I really like this.
Yeah, we need to give him an. He's probably an architect or something, you know.
This is like a harangue level of building placement.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay, now the upgrades for the Protoss are still going, so even in the upgrade department, fuNny is doing really well. And cryoc, really, to be fair, how does he take a fourth? Because when he makes a push, the only fourth that he might want to take is what, at the 9 o'clock? Maybe?
Well, it looks like he's actually... I was gonna say, is he gonna move towards the top right? No, he's gonna go straight for the Protoss natural. Okay, he just laid a minefield there at the top right just to draw some fire. But here we go. Here's a big move out. The observer is gonna see this. Now the Protoss army is in a bit of a funny position here, no pun intended. But it looks like he's gonna come back now. One control group of dragoons is actually away from the main army at the top right. I don't know if that's gonna make a big impact here. The arbiters are actually, oh no, there's only one arbiter here, but he's clumped with the main army. He's gotta be careful not to get EMPs. Oh my god, the Goliaths!
What the hell?
The Goliaths killed their own. That could have EMP'd the arbiter there. I don't know what they were thinking. Somebody fired these Goliaths. Court martial the Goliaths. What the hell happened? Oh, but the Templars are going to suicide. He's suiciding Templars.
Yeah.
Oh, his rally point is still here.
To be fair, 15 gateways is difficult to rally point, right?
It's true. Okay, here we go. Arbiter's going to go in first for stasis. There's another vessel here. It's got max energy.
Oh.
There's a storm. Where's the army? The army coming in from the side.
Where's the arbiters? There's only one, right?
The arbiter went in the back. It looks like there's a lot of tanks here that are going to get bombed. There's no more army in the front though, but it looks like a huge spread. I don't know if it's enough though. That's a huge ball of siege tanks and not many zealots left, but it looks like it might be enough because there's no support units, no vultures for tanks. The bottom is getting cleared up, but the top half still has a lot of siege tanks, and these tanks come out of stasis, and the Protoss army is in retreat.
Now, and there's now a lot more gateways at at the bottom right. So the production from fuNny, as soon as he starts making units, is gonna explode.
Yeah. The Remax is going to be insane here. And he can basically produce like 40 supply of units at a time. So, you know, 2 rounds and he'll have a huge army again. But unfortunately, he might not even get that chance. This is the reason why you need the gateways at the second location, because once your main gets sieged in like this, you need a way to get a flanking army out. And having said that, he does actually have the gateways now. He's got 8 gateways here at the second location, spamming zealots. If you can get a big group of zealots to come in from the side, that'd be really, really great. But unfortunately not.
Is expanding again. What?
Because why not? He has 3,000 minerals.
I mean, cryoc is like really has to be careful because he's gonna run out of money relatively soon.
Yeah, he's floating a command center over to the top right. His main army is obviously committed to the front here. So if fuNny goes for counterattacks from the bottom right, then he's going to be able to not deny that very, very easily. We already see a few zealots running around here. There's one patrolling zealot just to make sure the the Terran does not get that expansion. Now, fuNny's natural has been taken out, but that wasn't his most important base anyway. The only annoying thing is obviously his main gateways are all kind of stuck now. He has to rally them into the inside.
Yeah, and he at least that Terran army should at least try to be hitting the gateways on the cliff.
Yeah, or just killing the 9 o'clock. It's a little bit. I mean, I guess to be fair, he's using his reinforcements to go kill that base and leaving those tanks to the front. Okay, this is fair enough. He's using the reinforcements to go take down this base. It wasn't really mining anything though. The bottom right 3 are the fresh ones.
What is fuNny doing? He is actually lower in supply? How the hell did that happen? Like, I understand that cryoc is constantly being more efficient, but even though with that many gateways?
Yeah, this is a problem. I mean, and it's not even like he's broke either. He's got 3,000 minerals right now. He should just be spamming zealots non-stop. But that is so many tanks. This is a huge army. I gotta say, Cryoc's large army control here is pretty good. He did a really nice job in that attack. The zealots, though, going after this command center.
And some zealots killing the SCVs at the 4th. Well, why not?
Looks like a few tanks went for the 6 o'clock, but not going to be able to get that.
Yeah, too many units there. Although, now that's a pretty good... Now that's better. Now fuNny is getting up in supply again, and at the same time, he's actually cleaning up some of these smaller forces.
Oh, now, man, that is a nice tank line, though. Look at that tank line.
I mean, it's going to be quite tricky for cryoc to finish this off, that's for certain, but he can definitely take more bases and really add a few more factories and really get crazy on mining everything, trying to push different locations. But fuNny, if he's fast enough at reproducing his army and keeps maybe even expanding again, because why not on the 3 o'clock, then I don't know if he's gonna get the time.
I don't think he should expand there anymore. His bank is running out. He's down to 1,500 from like 3,000. Well, having said that, I don't know. He's cleaning up the force at the front here. It looks like cryoc just basically left those tanks there and forgot about them, and is now focusing on taking down the bottom right. This is actually really good. The main bonus army is actually staying here to make sure the tanks die, but I don't know if he has time for this because he needs to save these bottom right bases.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things that I was wondering about when cryoc moved to the pretty much to the main and natural. That usually when you do this kind of push, you want to go for the economy, the bases that were taken the last, because that means that if you do get these bases, then eventually your opponent doesn't actually have any more money, and because you're more efficient, you usually win that way. But going first for the main, that actually allowed fuNny to get all the economy that he needed from the other bases. And at this point, it's actually kind of more difficult to really starve him out.
Yeah, but it looks like cryoc doesn't care about any of that, and he's doing a great job here. This small force is going to counterattack his natural, but cryoc, I gotta say, he's been staying at maxed for like the last 5-6 minutes at least, you know? Like, he's doing a really good job. Ooh, the storms, though. Very nice.
The storms and the probes dying, but... yeah, really, so far really good, but I have to say that I think the only reason why that is because he's taking the siege positions and then continuing to macro, while the Protoss has to be always careful about things like mines. So I think it might be at this point a little bit more tricky for fuNny to really keep track on everything that's going on the map.
Yeah, looks like that is the case. I mean, he's like the probes are just trying to return to the bottom right nexus, and he's getting killed by these siege tanks, a few random Archons. That are pretty useless in PvT, obviously, thanks to EMP, are just wandering around the 3 o'clock base. He is very easily going to get destroyed here, and fuNny is on the ropes. He's taking the left side, but it's interesting how this happened if we think about this, right? I mean, fuNny had 5 bases against the Terran's 3.
Recall at the 4th of the Terran.
Recall! Oh, there's a mine right in the middle! Oh, it's good, it went off, but it doesn't kill everything. And that's going to get taken care of.
That's a small recall, actually.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think fuNny has that many units to spare with recalls anyway. Nice EMP.
He have a lot of units. Actually, at his 5th, he has a lot of units. At the natural, there's still some units. So, and in the main, he actually still has a lot of units.
Oh my god, he's just losing track of them because he had to re-rally all the gateways in his main. And he just forgot about them.
DT, the panic DT actually killing the tanks at his 4th, at the 4th of the Protoss. fuNny is actually really managing to get a lot of done with that.
Oh wow, very nice. Yeah, I mean, this is just what happens. This is why panic DTs are really good, because it's so hard to keep track with everything that's going on, but I don't think it matters in the long run here. cryoc is just taking over this game. He's got the top half of the map. I mean, just look at the mini-map here. That's not something you usually see in TVP, where the Terran is just all over the place like this. This is really, really nice play from cryoc. I'm actually super impressed by his TVP here. Playing late game TVP is one of like the most difficult and annoying things to do as a Terran player. So I'm really, really impressed.
Yeah, I mean, definitely he did have a lot of time to basically re-macro and things like these, so that definitely helped him, but he's definitely doing a lot better than I originally expected, at least, because usually what happens is that Terrans that play this kind of style, they get so focused on keeping their 3 bases and their first push, that then they forget to take the expansions, secure them with mines, but in this case, cryoc is doing a great job of that.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Those players are like, oh, nice, I'm copying the pros, I'm taking my 3 bases, doing the 2-1 push, and it's like, okay, the 2-1 push worked. Now what do I do? You know, there's no follow-up plan.
Yeah.
There's no understanding of how actually the late game magic works. So.
And to be fair, that's not something weird, because most of the times you're actually gonna die when you try to do that and it doesn't work, or you're gonna win.
Yeah.
You don't actually get to the late scenario.
Yeah. That's absolutely right. Especially in like foreigner games, I feel like those attacks tend to be a lot more all-in-ish. Like either the Terran does a huge, mucks up completely and doesn't control it correctly because it's so difficult, or the Protoss just engages in a line and just instantly dies. So, yeah, good stuff by cryoc, and pretty much just waiting for the GG here from fuNny. Does he still not realize he has so many units in the main? All these gateways just have been rallied
Yeah.
to themselves, and they're just sitting here.
I mean, fuNny probably is kind of wondering where the hell is my army.
Yeah. He's like, I keep building these units, but they're not coming out to my rally point.
Oh, but that actually, these tanks, even though they're 3-2, oh my, that hurts. But there's only tanks there, so you know, Zealots are actually going to be really good about that.
You should Zealot recall into the tanks like man. Just go out with a flashy play.
He has like High Templar there. He can just run in like 4 Zealots and then storm that clump. But now the Vultures are here. That's gonna make it more difficult. He found the units at the main.
He did finally. They're all getting stuck trying to come out. Oh no, he only found half of them. He forgot the top half. It's all right. He'll get it eventually, hopefully.
But yeah, the economy now for fuNny is pretty much in the drain. There's no more. Like the 5th is running out.
Oh no! A bunch of goons just blew themselves up on mines. I think.
Yeah. Now that's one of the hardest thing to do at this point because you're trying to constantly be moving your army, trying to do things, and remembering to actually send in an observer in the front to just clean the mines is really, really hard.
Yeah, 3 Vultures even gonna kill a Nexus here on the left side. And 6 o'clock base might not fall actually because there's a Zealot train coming.
Well, with that damage that the tanks do.
Oh, they right-clicked it. Oh, I thought they were gonna shoot the Zealots instead, but they were right-clicked on the Nexus. D-Matrix.
Yeah, and it doesn't actually do anything, but it survives a little bit longer.
So fuNny now mining from just the bottom right main.
Yeah, and
he's taking his natural.
And basically he's really down in supply because at this point he's been being outmined by a significant time. I mean, he still can get this. Don't get me wrong. This game is not over. Because if you do retake your economy and you do have a few arbiters, you can get and drag this game for a long time.
Yeah, you definitely can. Well, I'm not sure how much longer though, because he's down to like 100 supply. You'd have to do some insane arbiter plays. It's not even like Defilers where you can just put a Dark Swarm and never die. Arbiters aren't quite that OP. Well,
Yeah,
it depends on who you ask.
Also, I think there's another problem. There's only like 31 probes, so even if he does retake the Nexuses, which he is doing right now, it still won't give him a massive boost instantly.
You know what we need to see now? We need to see mass raids. Because Terran already did that today, and they didn't do it properly. So we need cryoc to show people how to do that properly.
But SPX did win that game, right?
So, he did win. It was like way too long, but he won.
Yeah. Oh no, this is gonna be GG, I think.
Yeah, this is the last all-in attack. Before
And everything gets destroyed. I mean, it's hilarious how powerful tanks are when they got 3+ attack. Like,
oh, they're getting stormed.
oh, nice storms, nice storms.
I like how it's gotten to the point where there are so many tanks that they can't dodge. It's like in PvZ when there's so many Hydras you can't dodge the storm.
Yeah,
The Terran has so many tanks you can't dodge. Nice.
Yeah, those storms actually, I think, did more for fuNny now that the last, like, I don't know, army that he had because of how clumped the units were.
Dude, it's first world Terran problems, man. Oh no, I have too many tanks. I can't dodge storms anymore. TT.
Yeah, but cryoc is still pretty much maxed, and it's 80 supply for fuNny, so yeah, at this point.
It's okay, you gotta believe. All he has to do now is make carriers and DTs, and he'll guarantee to win.
And, well, actually, yeah, that actually can happen if you manage to snipe the comsats or the command centers, basically the DTs, you know, can do whatever.
So yeah, all he needs to do is make 3 carriers, run around, kill the comsats, turrets, and vessels, and then just build like a control group of DTs to kill everything.
Well, when you put it that way, it doesn't sound like it's only.
Oh, and he has to dodge all the mines.
Yeah.
It's okay though. It's okay though. Like I'm a minesweeper expert. I'll just teach him how to avoid them.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
It's fine.
So pretty much economy gone for fuNny, and yeah, I mean this game is pretty much over. But we can still see if fuNny tries to do something creative. I would say funny, but it's not really that. Yeah, not really that good, is it? Okay, so the 6 o'clock going down. The last few minerals on the 5th are going to disappear relatively soon.
It's okay. He's got his natural. It's fine.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
Look, he's attacking the top right with 6 units. He's got this.
The 30-minute retake natural,
Hey, dude.
basically.
It's
Okay.
natural timing. GG! Head! What the? Whoa, okay. Alright.
I think that's Russian.
I don't know, man. I think we just got a little illicit relationship going on there. It's very naughty. Sorry, guys. It's a PG-13 stream. You guys got to take it off stream.
All right, I'm getting like kicked from Icy Cup every time I leave. I don't know why.
Are you a hacker? Are you a hacker?
If I know, I don't know how I am. It's just magic.
The unintentional hacker. The unknown hacker.
All right.
Anyway, looks like... Oh my god, we're going to get game 2 of the series.
Nice on Medusa.
PvT on Medusa. Ugh.
Yeah.
It's just a pain for both players, I feel like.
I mean, I would say this is a lot worse for the pros. Because the temple shenanigans, you won't do it with a Reaver, you probably won't do it with Lurkers, but with Siege Tanks, it's so easy to open 2 areas that the Protoss has to defend, and then you don't know where to put your army. Because you don't know who's going to move. So,
I would just 10-15 gate and not worry about it.
Yeah,
win with Dragoons, easy peasy.
You know that's fine as long as you actually win the game right there. But if it goes to the later stage, I know because that happened last week to me, and I just tried D-Web and it was complete failure.
Nice. Well,
I will do it once.
I feel like D-Web is a complete failure like 99% of the time. And then it's like, but the 1% when it works, it's glorious. It's Pimpus plays.
Yeah, it's basically like all those games that are so difficult that you know you're never gonna win them, but when you do it once, just like yes,
just makes it all worth it. All those failures. All right. Well, let's see. Maybe fuNny will honor our wish and go for D-Web in game number 2. Let's find out. Here we go.
Let's see.